Ready for some filtered and unfiltered talk about university, work, friendship,
relationships,
other ships,
maybe even cars,
and everything in between.
we're your host Arya
And Dia.
#DNA.
I notice the job market in Dubai has become a lot more stringent as compared to what it was like when we were back in high school.
I agree so much with that because seeing the population growing like so much every day in Dubai, job markets are like going crazy right now.
Yeah, exactly. Since a lot of expats are coming in thinking that, oh, Dubai market is really good for jobs, Dubai is such a big growing country, but they don't realize that there are already people here making it a lot more difficult for people to actually get jobs.
So true.
Yeah, and we're still students studying, but we still have internships that we do or volunteering, which can be so difficult for us because of all of the other expats coming in.
Yeah, it's like honeycomb here, and everyone's just coming here thinking there's lots of honey, but literally there's nothing over here.
True, but different people have different experiences and different opinions. So for today's episode, we have Ave and Siyona from Clover Creative bringing in their creative perspectives.
Thank you so much for having us to start off with.
Well, my name is Siyona. This is Avi. And
My name is Avi. We're both co-founders of Clover Creative Agency.
Right, so we started Clover in 2023 with a vision to simplify social media for businesses and help them grow in the digital space. So the name Clover actually was inspired by the fact that we were originally 4 founders, each representing a leaf of the clover with our different skill sets. And we felt like that was a great way of defining perfect balance and creativity. And what we do is we manage social media and digital strategies for brands in industries like F&B, real estate, wellness and beauty, and even professional individual accounts. And our overall goal is to take digital stress off your shoulders so you can basically focus on running your business while we make sure that your brand shines online. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far, and we're really excited to keep helping brands tell their stories and connect with their audience.
Our third co-founder is currently doing her university in Edinburgh right now.
If your co-founder is doing university, aren't you guys doing university? Especially we both are literally in the same class.
Yeah, so for context, me and Arya literally just finished a whole trimester together.
Congrats.
But again, I have finished uni as of yesterday.
Wow.
Wait, like you graduated?
I'm done, yes.
Damn, congratulations!
Thank
Congratulations!
you. Thank you. Okay.
What about you, Siyona?
Alright, so I'm doing masters in real estate and finance.
Wow.
Damn, real estate is cool.
I know, thank
Yes.
you. It's a very fun course.
That was not convincing though. Okay, what other works have you done other than this beautiful company that you guys are building together? Any other internships, volunteering, part-times that you guys have done?
So I would definitely say I've had my fair share of like the most random work experiences, because I'm pretty sure you guys have all had this phase where you just want to fill up your CV.
Okay.
You go on like either Indeed.com or you'll ask your uncle or something.
Oh
or
my
the
God,
other,
that's too real.
And you will get something, to put on your CV. So I would say my first working experience was when I was in high school, when I was in my year 12. I worked for, have you guys heard of Birkenstock? The shoe and like the cork based footwear company. Yeah, I worked there for a summer. And then from there I did some digital marketing internships here and there, a couple of them. I worked for my mom for a while.
Oh wow.
So I have experience in influencer marketing. So there's
Your mom is an influencer?
Yes.
Wow.
Casual plug.
Damn, oh my god, I did not know that.
Yeah. So just like that, like random experiences. Yeah.
For me, it was a little bit of an in and out because my dad did not let me just fill up the CV like that. His point of view was that he wanted me to take up jobs that had quality. So if anything, I kept putting my resume and I would get like interview calls, but he would tell me no, you're not going. Yeah, I was like, what generation are we living in? I've only done 2 official works, and those have both been remote. And one of them was kind of accidental because a friend kind of it's a big story, but a friend kind of like, he worked for this company that kind of scout in a lot of recruiters, and once you finish a course they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you a job like right after. So
Or like those full-time will employ you for full-time?
no, it's the ones where you do like a 30-day like a course, you get a certificate, and then they'll give you like a list of places. Right? When I see you, man. So he kind of like made me do that, and then I was like, oh my god, I can finally apply. And then I think the first company I ended up working for was Lab Dogs. Anyways.
So for context, this friend that got her into this signing up for this course thing.
I'm
he had
suspecting
approached-
it's you.
No.
You
Trust
were the
me, it's
victim.
not. So he's a mutual friend of both of us, and he tried doing the same thing with me, and he was like, oh, it's only like, how much was it, like $10? $10, and you'll get access to like 400 different courses, and after this course you'll get placements in all these companies that you finish the courses for and everything. And obviously the first thing I do, I text her and I'm just like, listen, because if I'm doing something, I'm gonna drag her down with me, obviously. And then she gets hyper excited about it. She pays before I do.
Oh no.
And then I was like, actually, I think this might be a scam. And
Exactly.
She's like, I paid. And a little while after she finishes the course, like, you know, she like grinded, she finished and everything. And then she's like, I got an internship. And she was so excited about it. How much did you get paid?
Shut the hell up, it was experience.
Knowledge.
And trauma.
Knowledge.
Well, she had the trauma of the experience of being scammed, and she got the knowledge not to be scammed again. So everything is a learning curve.
I got the certificate, and then I can put it on my resume now.
How credible is that
It's
certificate?
they actually don't care. That's the funny thing. Like, they actually don't care as long as you have like a bunch of certificates. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people just look. They'll be like, oh, this person has a lot of certification. They wouldn't go check if it's from like Unschool or Harvard or whatever. It could be a scam for all you care.
Actually, I should literally put my high school certificates in. I have so many.
But again, like I feel like you should put the ones which you think have actually given you knowledge rather than just
As much
All of them.
as much as if we do consider it to be a scam because you kind of forced us into it. I didn't get paid at the end of the day. But another thing is that certificate was for business entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So if
Some
anything,
values there, yeah.
some value.
So did you enjoy, both of you, did you enjoy working while studying, or do you think it was overwhelming doing together?
In which terms are you speaking? Like our previous jobs or as Clover?
Internships while you
Internships.
were studying.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take this? Okay. I would feel like majority of my internships were when I was in high school. So it kind of went hand in hand because I am someone who firmly believes that I learn really well from hands-on experience, right? So a book can give me the theory, but until I actually apply it, I actually don't think I'm going to absorb all that, the experience. So I personally felt it went hand in hand with the course that I was doing in high school. And Sia?
Yeah, so the jobs that I did, they were all remote, so they didn't affect me in high school, and everything was like smooth sailing. For me, it was like, I think the change came with Clover, because that's when like my part especially is like mainly handling all the clients, so that requires me to be out there a lot more. So I feel like high school was fine. It was a remote job. It was chill. Nobody had anything. But over here, I think with the responsibilities I have, it's enjoyable. But yeah, if you don't balance it, I feel like it would put you in a tough spot as well.
So while studying, like doing your bachelor's, there was nothing you did, like no internships or anything?
No,
Not
like
at
I said,
all.
for me it was
quality.
it was quality.
I did do a couple of internships, but accordingly, I also took breaks from uni because I felt like I needed to focus on one
Like a
thing at
trimester
time.
gap or something?
Yeah, I would say either take like lesser number of units, so I'll have like free days where I can go to work.
Okay.
That's actually really smart.
It was like very balanced, so there's no overlap of like, oh, I have uni and work today, because especially back then, before getting a car, public transport.
Oh my god, that was a struggle today.
Public
Taxi, oh my god.
transport is a very big topic to really talk about.
Yes.
And there's so much to talk about in general about public transport at all.
True.
But like again, with going back to the topic, when you take lesser number of units, at least for us, our graduation delays,
Yeah.
right? So was that like affecting you? Were you fine with it? How did it go? Like,
Technically, I was supposed to graduate like 3 months ago, but because I took a trimester with a lesser number of units, it extended like another trimester. But then again, it also completely depends on like how fast you want to pace yourself through university, because there are people who really enjoy the university life and they want to take it slow, and there are people who just want to get it over with and move on to the next step. You know, like finish studying, hustle, grind, get that, you know, get that bank. Yeah. So I personally wanted to get uni over with pretty fast so that I can focus more on the company and expand more on that side.
Avi, you're doing marketing and management, right? Yeah. So I'm not trying to be diplomatic, but it's just that I'm a real estate and finance student, and what I do was more of a side passion that I didn't want to bring to mainstream. So as much as I enjoy doing what I do, like I mentioned, it was hard balancing the both. But for Avi, I always saw it as something that he takes hand in hand. Like what he learns from Clover, he can take it back to what, like, you know, he'll always align it with whatever he's studying, and it's always helped out like both ways. But for me, what the hell is property valuation going to do with like digital marketing?
why did you choose that then? You could go ahead with something like with marketing, something that's in your interest again.
No, see, that's the thing. I think this is something I learned from him. But he's always mentioned that keeping your passion as a mainstream subject is going to make you hate it. Yeah, I have to quote him on that. He's the one that like made me realize it.
I was just gonna ask you, like, if you're making money out of your passion, doesn't that drain like the passion out of the passion?
See, the thing is, it can go both ways. So I always say this from like getting as in like a degree perspective. So I love art. Okay, art is a massive part of my life. So initially my plan was to move abroad to go to an art institute. But then I really thought to myself like, okay, one, I come from a brown family, okay? So
A wrong family?
a brown family.
Are you okay?
What is it wrong?
Look at it, that's what comes to my mind.
So what I was talking about is choosing something that you're passionate about and putting it in a path where your sole idea is to make money out of it. That can go far if it's more of like a hobby or like something small. But if it's like a field of interest, like maybe like art or music, like I have friends who are music producers that hate what they do, although they love music. Because the stress, the pressure of meeting the deadlines and this certain standard they have to uphold constantly, it kind of drains you and it makes you feel like, okay, why did I choose this field? So that's why I wouldn't say I've sidelined art, but that's another aspect of my life.
Okay, like
So,
a backup plan?
It's not like a career path. It's just a part of me that continues outside of like the, how do you say it, like the professional field. But obviously, like I do incorporate certain aspects of that into the work I do at Clover because I am the content creator. So I'm the one who makes the graphic posts for the brands that have signed with us. So I do try to incorporate, that into that as well.
You just mentioned about deadlines right now. How did you deal with like the pressure of meeting the deadlines of both Clover as well as universities? Because as far as I remember, the project that we did together, like we were able to meet the deadline so smoothly. Versus we have other projects with like people who may or may not be working, but it's like they're either unresponsive, they're like responding like 5 hours before the deadline. That's crazy, especially for team assignments or anything. So how are you, both of you, able to meet both your deadlines? What kind of pressure or tricks do you guys use?
I think I'll let you lead with this one, join.
Yeah, so the thing is, like I mentioned, we kind of knew the consequences of what we were getting into when we signed up to like start a business. So, and a big part of that was to really be present in both our lives, like academically and as owners. And I've got to be honest, towards the start, like the first year of us being with Clover, it was a little bit of a hassle because we did not have like the thing is, it was all about like our own marketing to get the clients that we did have, like taking care of them, like, you know, getting work done, and our assignments. It was a little bit of a mess, but I think right now we're at a place where we can hand over our work to our employees. and we know how to shift our work well. So I feel like that's a really good personal growth that we have.
What I would like to add on is that just the principle of accountability, right? Like, you are responsible for the things that you do. So if you have a commitment that you have to keep, you have to keep it. Like, there's no like, oh, this happened, that happened. Yeah, fine, stuff can happen, but at the end of the day, you have a responsibility to uphold. So especially with balancing uni and work, these are two commitments that I've made, right? So it was a little difficult to balance both, but and Sia and I have experimented so much with like different workspace, calendar apps, like Notion and Monday.com and all that. So we kind of figured out, like, it's not like when you're working in a team, it's not just about how you work. You also have to have an understanding of like, okay, how does everyone around you work? So it was a little difficult for her to pace with my uni schedule at first, especially considering we have 3 founders and all 3 of us have different classes on different days. So it was really difficult to, you know, all find time to do something together. But as like the more work we did, we got on pace with each other, and that's genuinely, like, I feel like that's the biggest thing that got us to where we are today, understanding how each other works.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to say it, and I don't know if I'm framing it right, but we had a lot of opportunities in the first year of like, you know those prospective clients, and we used to get really down when we realized that it doesn't go forward, because 2 things. Obviously, when someone comes in inquiring for services, we speak to them, the first thing they realize is our age. So where
biggest issue in this job market in general, even for interns or anything else, they always doubt your age.
But that's the difference though. When you're an intern and when you're an employee, they're like, oh, there's someone more mature above you. But the whole reason we started the company, I don't know if this will be aired or not, but all of us have definitely worked for companies that work like, so your employees are literally going to be like 30-year-olds doing the same job you're doing. But for some reason, when you want to be an individual and do that same work, they're like, oh, but you're too young.
Okay,
it doesn't
they think that you're not someone experienced enough.
But we're doing the same job they're doing, like them, or like, you know, people in their 30s way older than us, and then they'd be doing the same work, and we'd be like, why is that happening? So we took that, you know, that leap of faith, and we started our own company to see how far it goes. And we definitely had to go through issues like that, but obviously they wouldn't tell us to our face. They'd be just like, oh, okay, so who's the owner? And we're like, owner. And then so we've had a lot of prospective clients leave us like that, and we were like, damn, like, what the heck. It was a little bit of I'd say like a dead end in the first year. But the reason I said like frame this better for me is that I'm kind of glad we didn't get them. Because the way we grew in like terms of like teamwork and just understanding the whole operations, because we had the skills, but what's more important is the way you, like, you know, kind of execute it. So I feel like it was a whole journey, and for us it took like a year to understand. So now I know for a fact, like, so like I mentioned, my work is to get the clients, and then get the whole contractual stuff, all the things is done by me. So now I know where to go, what templates are set and everything, and I just give it over, and it's like, it's a smooth transition. But before, we're like, oh god, like, what's happening? Like, we were way too blinded by getting someone to even look at anything else.
What I wanted to add was not just the dead end part. Because we were a startup company, any opportunity that comes our way, we would get a little overexcited.
It's the same thing we experienced as well.
And
so like right now, I like to believe we're in a place where I wouldn't say we're picky with our clients, but we will be able to kind of foresee how this contract will be moving forward, right? So we want to focus on working with brands that have a very authentic identity, and we want to bring that to life. We want to bring their ideas to life. And we do get a lot of proposals from clients that we don't feel like we align with, and now we're able to see that beforehand, and that's something that I feel like we have grown in.
Yeah. It's so wonderful to see your journey. Mashallah.
But like again, what do you think? You all made a good decision starting company at a young age, or do you think could have started a little
Later, like worked a bit
maybe
more.
like in your 20s? I think
They are
y'all-
in their 20s.
No, in the sense when y'all started, y'all were in 20s.
We were in our 18s.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
not
19s,
20s
yeah, that's
again.
not 20s, yeah.
So do you think you should have done
Like-
it like at that time was the right time, or is 20s a good time? For anyone in general, do you think? What do you think?
To be fair, I don't think there is like a one-shot answer to this question, because like we have a good age gap. Like I'm only 19,
Okay.
so she's turning 21.
That's so fine. It's not.
Yeah, and yeah, in
No,
the sense
but-
like the pace that I'm going at, like I'm already graduated,
Yeah.
right? And she's still doing it, so everyone has a little pace.
Right?
No, see, the thing is, what he's trying to say is that age is really not a factor here. It's your maturity level. So if we, like he mentioned towards the start of the podcast, that there are students that literally just want to come to uni to socialize. They want to come to just maybe either finish it off, graduate early, just go for the money. Like everyone comes with different intentions. But what we're trying to say is, considering we found an issue and we felt like we could profit out of it, and also like, you know, kind of build something of our own, itself was a commitment that showed maturity and like a level of compatibility among us. And that's why we went, because that's what I'm saying, we thought of this when we were like 18 and a half, like right after we finished our 12th is when the planning started. But it's, I think, so 2022 mid is when the planning started. And when 2023 we started, we applied for all our trade licenses, and then we were putting things to work. So ever since then, we've been then going to the final stage of it, that was to get clients in. So that whole journey, it's not, I don't think age mattered. It was just, yeah, it was maturity and dedication. So when we see Clover like years ahead, we want to see it like double, triple of what it is right now. So that's in terms of like the people, the way of working, the knowledge, or just the overall thing. Like,
I feel like disregarding the age factor, I believe we are people that really encourage any kind of fresh idea or innovation, right? Like there are multiple times where like my younger sibling has surprised me with something that I would have never thought of. So it's just about like the level of thinking that you can do and like the kind of ideas that you can bring forward. That is what is going to set you apart, because I'm pretty sure there are so many millionaires who are like so much younger than us, and they've made a brand for themselves.
True.
Right?
Again,
So
age doesn't matter.
age does not matter, as long as you are sure of the kind of image that you want to portray. Like you're solid on that, you will create a brand for yourself, because you are your brand at the end of the day.
The biggest questions that I have personally asked myself and everybody around is social life and working together. How is that? Like, because I've noticed that sometimes you in a social setting can be so different versus you in university versus you at a work setting. And how do you balance like making sure you enjoy your uni life, because that thing's never gonna come back, versus, you know, also building this, because I'm pretty sure, as you guys have mentioned, Clover took so long to actually take off the ground, and so much work and effort had to be put in. How were you able to manage social life? Did you have to like disregard it completely, or were you able to like still manage that somehow with education?
okay, so the thing is, you're gonna get like two different answers 100%. I'm more of a introvert. So the thing is, me representing Clover and me, if you see me in campus, if you ever do, is two different people. I'm very like, you know, oh, if like a client speaks to me, I'll have like all the confidence in the world, and but in uni I'm not that interested. Like, until I keep a very small circle. So social life, I didn't have one to begin with.
We're all just eyeing Avi at this point.
Okay, I get it. I can be a little extroverted, but
We love that.
I think the main reason is I like Sia has seen firsthand there was a drastic shift in my social battery ever since I started uni, because in high school I was actually very like reserved. So like I I would not even talk to people. Like
I cannot imagine you like that.
Yeah. So when I joined uni, I was like, okay, this is like an entirely new chapter of my life. So how about I actually step out of like my comfort zone a little bit and try to let more people in, maybe for a change. And I tried that, and I accidentally formed an 11-person friend group on my first week in uni. Accidentally. I'm not even joking.
Word. I know, I was there.
It's the first day of uni. That's
First day of
basic.
uni, and I was so overstimulated. I genuinely, like, I didn't know who to look at. I didn't know who to talk to. But I was like, okay, keep, like, pretend you're confident. Like, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
That got me so far. But then I also realized it's so exhausting to, like, maintain relationships with so many people. Right? And that started getting a little more real when I started, like, either doing the internship or, we started with Clover. I realized that you don't actually need so many friends. Okay, not everyone is your friend. Yeah, okay. If you're offended, sorry, but not everyone is your friend.
You're not getting rid of me.
I'm talking to the podcast. Okay.
all right.
Okay. Thank you. I did listen in on your podcast, the last episode, and you did mention that you are like the combination of the 5 people that you're mostly around, right? And I 100% agree to that, right? Because you pick on like little things, maybe like something they say or something they do, or like a kind of perception they have about a certain topic. You do pick on that and you do exhibit it in one way or the other. So in a way, like, the people that you have around you constantly play such a massive role in like the trajectory that your life is taking, especially at this age where like we experience so much change, both in like the academic and like the professional aspects of life. You're going to experience so much change. So my social life, I would not say it took a nosedive like I would have thought it would. It actually hiked up. But like I said, it was very taxing to be able to manage like work and uni and then having a social life.
It depends from people to people. So he went from like an introvert to an extrovert because of the uni setting. But for me, I was the opposite. Like, I think I was more talkative, and like I had a larger circle in high school, and then now I just prefer to like keep it into like an inner circle. I just like doing things on my own,
It's like at the end of the day, it will still boil down to that if you are trying to make something of yourselves, your circle will still be limited. Whether you go from introvert to extrovert or extrovert to introvert, your circle will be limited when you try to build something for yourself. And this, I keep hearing this quote a lot, and that is why a sports car has 2 seats and a bus has multiple.
Slay. As it should be.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Anyway, other than any other methods that you would suggest to our audience, like, I don't know, some, like you mentioned Monday.com, anything else like time blocking, scheduling, or any other trick or anything that even you have used, like you could suggest for our viewers for their time management or something like that?
For me, to-do list is something that really works well for me. So again, on my phone, on my notes app, I have like a list, more than a list, maybe 2 notes that have like the things I have to get done with the deadlines in it, and reminders as well on the calendar, which keep on popping like a week before, or like just keep on reminding me that I have this thing due and I have to get done with this. And again, so for me, time blocking matters a lot. I've said this earlier as well, that dedicate like a certain amount of time for a certain task and then finish it within that time and not to exceed it. Otherwise, everything's gonna get delayed up. So, and like again, priorities, it depends on what I want to finish first, what I want to finish last. So I think these are the 2-3 tricks I use in general to just make my life easy while I was working, and right now while I'm just taking my life slow and easy. What about y'all?
Well, personally from my side, I wouldn't say that there is any like sure shot app or like technique that I've used so far to increase my productivity, because you could use Notion or Monday.com or like even like regular Apple Calendar, but until you have gotten into that mindset that I need to get this done, it doesn't matter. Like, it could be free, paid, or just a piece of paper, but until you want to get it done, you're not going to get it done. So Sia?
If you meant like time blocking and stuff to balance out like academic life and like your careers, again, like same as he said, it depends on what you prioritize. So I could like maybe when it's exam times, what we do is we let the other person know way beforehand. So for example, when he has exams, he lets me know. So he either finishes off like all his works for, and then he hands it over to me, and vice versa. Yeah. So that even with our employees, we try to keep it as flexible as possible because we understand like this is not a 9 to 5. It's a digital marketing realm. It's a little more easy, and we're blessed with that opportunity. And I think that's also why we went ahead with it, because it like the flexibility works in our favor. So it basically depends a lot on the time. Anybody can work on any platform. They basically do the same delivery, and that is remind you. So for me, I do like post-its on my screen so that I can like see it. Yeah, so it's like it's right there on me, and I can like, okay, if there's anything more, I add it and stuff like that. And we plan like way before. It's way important for us. So like that, we have like monthly schedules and things. So we normally just keep blockers like that so that no one can like, overbook or like have it clashing. Or we'll just hand over work and one person will take over entirely.
To sum up, again, motivation comes in from all ends, but the discipline is what matters. To
100%.
yeah, so discipline matters a lot when it comes to achieving your goals or just again finishing tasks up, right?
Yeah, and when it comes to productivity and maintaining that motivation, I feel like one of the most important things, like the first thing you should do is understanding when you're most productive, or like the environment you're most productive in, right? So I feel like there might be a common misconception that like, oh, okay, wake up early in the morning and do this or get this done. Okay, I could never, like, full honesty, if you wake me up before the hours of like 8, I will like possibly hit you. Okay, like don't talk to me before 8 until someone died.
Do not talk to me before I've had my coffee.
Literally. So me personally, I usually work like way after like, midnight. I would not recommend, I'm not saying it's healthy, but for me, that's the time I'm most productive because, the other distractions in my life are sleeping. And
With you, what do you mean?
could mean someone else. I just looked at you, okay? Like there's not, outside noise, there's, everything is just peaceful.
Yes,
and
I agree so much with that.
yeah, and like no other commitments because you have nothing else to do at like 4 in the morning, So understanding that hour is productive for me, so lets me maximize on like, okay, every day this time is blocked, like you had mentioned, the time blocking thing. And obviously that can change. It can be for work or for like uni or whatever it is, but like just understanding when you work the best or where you work the best. It could be like maybe like the setting you're in. Personally, I can never work in uni, but I have seen Arya like work in uni. She has this little thing she does where she puts a time lapse and then she starts working, and I have accidentally like done so many dumb things in the background of her time lapses, and I'm so blessed that she hasn't noticed it yet. But
Maybe she will go back and check it today.
oh dear Lord.
She will.
Yeah, so yeah, that's that.
But like again, if you're working at 4 in the morning, if you have 8 a.m. class, how do you manage with that?
He does not show up to class. I'm kidding.
See,
Like, just in,
I will agree to that because so again, I'm never saying whatever I'm doing is healthy, but I have this thing where either I get like good sleep or I don't get any sleep, because if I get like incomplete sleep, I'm a mess.
No, but along with that, from what I've known with those midnight calls is he at least like restrains himself when you have 8 a.m. class. Like I don't think any of us have like back-to-back 8 a.m. classes, so he normally goes all at it on the days where it's like a little more like further after in the noon type classes. But yeah, I think I can't say we've had like dangerous timings not had it.
because like for me it was crazy back then. I was just having back-to-back morning classes, and for me till the time I get back home, I'm so tired. I change, I eat, I sleep, again back to uni, so I don't have time for anything else otherwise.
Yeah, and I feel like at least with the university that we're in, we have the flexibility of choosing our class timings, right? So when I started off initially in my first year, I did try to pick as many early classes as I can because I wanted to be home like quicker, without reaching the traffic hours and all that. But then I realized like it didn't work with my schedule, to be honest. So picking classes that worked alongside the other things I have to do did change like a lot about the scheduling process and getting the work done.
Have you guys learned any skill that you think that you have not learned in classrooms? Anything that, as you've mentioned earlier, you learn better through hands-on experience. So what are certain things that you have learned only through experiencing,
Or
learning
maybe
it?
like upskill to skill.
Okay, so I'll start off.
yeah.
So the majors that I'm doing right now, I'm doing a double major in marketing and management. So obviously for me, I would say the marketing aspects, it was more like I could apply it to Clover. But I personally learned a lot about management and the internal hierarchy of an organization by building our own company, right? There's only so much you can like learn from a textbook. There's only so much you can learn from a classroom, especially about teamwork and leadership. And, when you start a company, we're obviously going to have people that are working under us. So how can we be different than the other leaders that we've had in our past? How can we make a positive impact on our employees? Those are all things that I learned from working.
For me, because my course is real estate, I'm gonna be dead honest. It's not helped as much, but it's just a few of my units like financing and stuff like that have definitely helped balance out our money. So I've been able to contribute with stuff like that. But other than that factor, everything else have been soft skills. So I feel like if I compare my confidence, my way of speaking, everything before, it was very, let's say, like it would always end with a question mark. But now I speak when I know, like, yeah, it's there. Because when you take up this responsibility, if you're not sure with yourself, then no one's gonna believe you. Like, you have to believe yourself first.
To be that confident and be like, okay, I know this, I know what I'm
Exactly.
doing.
And
People won't treat you
and the people that like I deal with, it's very important to be so. Like, otherwise they're gonna be like, okay, if you're not confident in what you're selling, then why should I possibly invest in it? So I feel like the soft skills really help me. So that's why I said I'm an introvert. But me working for this company is, it's a whole new sphere.
And also like the level of professionalism that you exude when you do a lot of things drastically changes when you start interacting with people that are not your age, people who are experienced, people who like really know what they're doing. And about Sia doing real estate, although it is not related to the digital marketing thing that we do have a lot of clients who are from the real estate sector. And she fully, like, I would say, like, more than I do, she handles that so well. I think she's able to like really incorporate that aspect into this as well.
Yeah, industry knowledge, slay.
To sum up this episode, I think working while studying is a very subjective thing because every single
And
person
depends.
is gonna have different opinions, but the most important thing is you need to be dedicated to both your education as well as your working if you wanna actually make it through.
Yeah, and like be disciplined to your goals, follow them is what I would say.
Yes.
Be motivated, the very big thing I would say. Motivation
is still like a temporary thing.
but
'cause
discipline.
Discipline is what is important.
Because motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent.
True.
I think both should coexist though. If
Together,
you don't have
yes.
something pushing you, the bricks are gonna fall apart.
Yeah, it's like you need to have eccentric motivation rather than the eccentric
Yeah.
one.
I still feel like both should coexist.
Again,
Yeah,
that's
true,
also
true.
very subjective.
Subjective, right?
So too.
We can't
Yes.
we can't say anything on
Yes.
that. But it was lovely talking to y'all.
I had to say one line before
Okay,
that.
Verseas, I'll
Yeah.
add this later.
Yeah, but all of that is only possible if you have like the right circle of people around you.
Right.
That is why we need to know how to find the right people. Maybe we'll hear about that in the next episode.
For
Stay
sure.
tuned.
So again, thank you all so much for coming and giving us so much insightful information. It really helped me as well a lot, like just to think more about it, and I believe everyone else who's hearing this as well.
This experience was twice as special for us because this is our first public appearance.
Thank you so much for having us. It was honestly a wonderful time chatting with you guys.
So that is it from us. Until next time, keep chasing your dreams,
Loving yourself.
and thriving in every way. We've got your back.